The Henderson Experience Curve Model. Elegant, eloquent, and sagacious business strategy. Let's take a delve into more. So, let's take a delve into the atmosphere preceding the Henderson experience. So, what led to it? Prior to Henderson's experience curve model, conventional economics taught the law of diminishing returns. Thus, this was a time when mainstream economics taught marginal unit costs inevitably must rise at some point. Then enter Bruce D. Henderson, a well-seasoned and accomplished industry businessman who attained an undergraduate degree at Vanderbilt and attended Harvard Business School and left 90 days before he graduated to begin his corporate career. Now, let's talk about the inception of the experience curve and what spurred the idea and what is the idea. As founder of Boston Consulting Group, Bruce D. Henderson was working in the mid-1960s with the leading manufacturer of semiconductors. So while working there, the consultant noticed that the company's unit cost of manufacturing fell by about 25% for each doubling of the volume that it produced. Very, very peculiar pattern. Therefore, after noting the observation, this caused Henderson to theorize the following direct quote. Costs characteristically decline by 20 to 30% in real terms each time the accumulated experience doubles. This means that when inflation is factored out, costs should always decline. The decline is fast if growth is fast, and slow if growth is slow. The aforementioned relationship they ended up calling the Henderson experience curve. The more experience a firm has in producing a particular product, the lower its cost, which went on industry-wide across different industries to be proved across the board as an inductively solid theory. So moving forward, let's examine the evolution of the idea and its proper applicability to business. So, what are the factors that contribute to the result of the experience curve? Here are a few key sources as to why costs will decline as experience rises. 1. People learning how to do the task and putting that learning into practice. As the old adage goes, practice makes perfect. 2. Standardizing the product or service to remove unwanted variations in what is expected from the process. 3. New work processes that are standardized and continually improved. 4. Task specialization linked to economies of scale. Therefore, in order to take advantage of the experience curve costs, there has to be a continuous company-wide culture of fostering improvement. Thus, if it's not, the experience curve is rendered useless. Therefore, meaning better in regard to the Henderson experience curve is achieving the same quality output before a reduced cost. So, what exactly are these reduced costs the Henderson experience curve claims to create? Herein lies the answer. Reduced cost savings from experience curve can come from better purchasing. With experience, you may find suppliers who charge lower prices are more reliable in their quality and service. 2. Increased productivity, doing what you do more efficiently. Innovation, changing what you do because you found a better way to achieve the same end result. Better quality, learning should lead to lower waste from mistakes. Bad production of process scrap. Faster throughput. reducing time taken from the start of the process to the finish, both in terms of activity time and waiting time, increasing flexibility of your employees and machines in terms of what they can do and how quickly they can do, and how quickly they can change from over between activities. Now, allow me to bring in my world-renowned research colleague in from the Bauer School of Business, Nobel Peace Prize winning MIS, Dr. Han.
The Henderson experience curve is a great business concept, but like all concepts, it has its shortfalls. Allow me to illustrate a few. For example, if your business does not have the processes, policies, and procedures in place to encourage learning from the experience and building that knowledge into your systems, the experience curve is null in effect. Now let's take a look back in history. It shows that there are various dangers or mistakes that you can make if you rely on the experience curve in particular as you focus on a business strategy. One of the dangers is pricing based on the experience curve. Big mistakes have been made in the past by companies believing that if they price aggressively, they will win market share. Gaining experience and costs will reduce to give a comfortable margin. And the big problem with this type of thinking is that it often assumes that your competitors won't react to your special deals and lower prices. But can you really afford to price at levels that they are not prepared to match? Another danger is technical innovation. Your knowledge may become obsolete as technology overtakes you and everyone has to start learning the new rules at the same time.
In summary, what have we learned today about the Henderson experience curve? An experience curve looks at a broader range of elements that impact the production process than does a basic learning curve, which tends to focus more on the labor aspect. Whereas the Henderson experience curve model includes elements like marketing strategies, cost administration, the cost of distribution, and the cost of associated with manufacturing, such as the cost with raw materials. The more detailed approach can make it much easier to determine if the cumulative cost of producing each unit is in fact falling. If that is not the case, the shape of the curve may help identify areas where improvement can be made and trigger the trend of decreasing costs. Thus, the following is what makes strategic implications of the experience curve so enticing. For if costs fell with experience, and experience was closely related to market share, then competitors with the biggest market share was going to have the biggest cost advantage over its rival.